You know, I don't want to say down and outer, but sometimes it's appropriate, Brian. You're the expert on this. It seems to me, I listened to Savage for a while. I used to go home at that hour he was on, and he was so angry I became sort of enthralled by him. How can anybody be this angry every night? His hatred level of people who anybody's guilty of disagreeing with him, or anybody's a victim of something like AIDS, he would just trash them as victims. People with the wrong ethnic background, he would trash them. Even if it's his own ethnic background, he would trash them. The self-hatred, everything else involved, I was so enthralled by it, but after a while I said, I feel miserable. I'd rather listen to 60s music, you know? Turn on some kind of my favorite station, you know, Sirius, listen to the 60s, because I'm tired of feeling miserable. Is it true that people who are really down and out, who are really miserable, really angry, do want to hear somebody who's miserable? That misery does love company, and that's why they listen to Mark Levin and Savage and those guys, because they're really down and out, and they love a really miserable character to share their time with.
Well,
is that what's going on here?
Savage is a miserable character, and what's irresponsible of what he does is he points out particular ethnic groups and immigrants, and he frames everything as if it's a war. Look at your show. You don't call it war, you call it hardball. That means we get into
well, I say it as a sport at sometimes.
It's a sport,
because it is.
That's right. It's a sport, and one of the things that from your experience, and I think this is important, and if people read your book like I did, you served as a cop at the Capitol, and you knew about respect for the institution and processes of democracy. And one of the things that I think is so loathsome about what's going on here is it's not that there's a substantive side or a position. What we're talking about here are characters who are the merchants of hate, who make their living not on looking for solutions, but who make it on destruction and demonizing folks. And by the way, we see this on the left. There were horrible pictures of John McCain, and there was Sarah Palin hung in effigy in West Hollywood, so we're not going to excuse that. But I think when it becomes an industry, a divisive industry that focuses on demonization, violence, and the exploitation of bizarre conspiracy theories, what do you expect with certain unstable people that are out there and already angry? This validates how they feel and directs where their aggression should go.